Welcome back to What Matters This Week. I'm Lauren Maloney. Joining me now is Nate Farnham. He's a youth advocate. Also joining us is Amy Brady, Policy Associate for Voices for Vermont's Children. Appreciate both of you being here today.
Absolutely. It's great to be here.
I had asked you to come on because, and Amy, you can speak to this first, you are looking to create an Office of Child Advocate for the state of Vermont.
Yes.
Why has the state not had one in the past? Why is this the first time you're bringing it up?
Well, there's been interest in an Office of Child Advocate for a number of years. A bill was introduced several years ago, similar to this one, by Representative Ann Pugh, who's a co-sponsor of the bill again. I think in the past, the funding of the office has been a barrier, but we are now the last state in New England to have a similar independent oversight body, and the numbers coming out of DCF are pretty challenging. We know that we are removing children at a much higher rate than our peers and the national average, and we know that there's a big disparity throughout the state in terms of kids' experience in care. So if you are a child in St. Albans, or if you were a child in Burlington, you're much more likely to be removed from your family than if you were in Morrisville or Newport or Middlebury. But we're not able to look at the deeper root cause, and so we feel like an Office of Child Advocate can help us to see the bigger picture and to look at the system response and create the change that is needed.
New Hampshire just instituted one last year, we should mention, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Have you worked with advocates or people in New Hampshire to see how you could parallel this office in the Green Mountain State?
We have. We've talked to advocates. We've talked to the director of the Office of Child Advocate and the staff there. We've talked to folks from DCYF to see what their experience has been with the office, and read their report that just came out, and feel that their structure would be an ideal structure for us in Vermont.
Okay. Nate, we had you join us today because not only are you an advocate, but you're also a former foster youth. Can you tell me a little bit about your story?
Yeah, so I was taken into DCF custody in May 26th, 2006, due to someone making reports that were completely false. The court even proved that those accusations were false accusations, but due to DCF's policies and criteria around what a parent needs in their house to really keep a kid safe and live up to their standards, my mom was not able to do so, unfortunately. So I remained in DCF from 2006 to just up until September of last year. Over the course of those 12 to 13 years, I went through 32 different foster homes, 8 to 10 residential treatment facilities, and 3 6-month-long stays at the Brattleboro Retreat for medication stabilization. Just simply due to the fact that they couldn't really find what meds would be best for me as far as my anxiety and depression. Due to some of the physical and emotional trauma I suffered, I actually suffered from PTSD from 2008 to roughly 2012 until I finally just got a grip on being able to come to terms with what has happened and what continued to happen for the rest of my stay. I got involved with some other programs in the state through the Youth Development Program in Vermont in 2015, after doing 3.5 years out of state over in New Hampshire in 2 different residential programs over there, because nowhere else in Vermont could take me. And then I really started pushing for change in the system, just because I feel that even my worst enemy shouldn't have to go through what I went through. So I want to change that so that other kids that have to come into this unfortunate circumstance don't have it as hard as some of us that have already been through it have had.
Well, I appreciate you telling me your story today.
Absolutely.
I know transparency is important for both of you, but some of the main priorities in instituting this office, what do you expect?
We're hoping to have an office with a staff of at least 2, and we'd like to have somebody that's able to answer calls from the public and hear the perspective of folks who are in care to help our system become more child-centered. And they'll have the knowledge and the skills to be able to say if policies and practices are being followed as intended, and if they're not, why. We have a social work staff that's incredibly overburdened, and they can look at the bigger picture of what they're asked to do in their day and see if they have the resources that they need to accomplish everything that we're asking of them. And then they'll also be able to pull random and targeted case reviews to see if the stories that are coming in are representative of a bigger problem or if they're really just specific examples throughout the community. And then they'll put together a report annually, and the advocate role is incredibly important for just showing both through stories but through data what's happening and where we can improve.
How hopeful are you that this can be the year that this happens?
I'm going to let Nate take that first.
I'm extremely hopeful that this can be passed this year. Last year I actually testified in the House Health and Human Resources Committee and one other committee in the Senate of the State House for the Prudent Parent Standard Act, which allows foster parents to make legal guardian decisions for youth in their care rather than going through the DCF worker. So if a kid comes to his foster mom at 6 o'clock at night and says, hey, I need this permission slip for this field trip signed for tomorrow, instead of having to try to find a DCF worker at 6:30 in the morning before this kid goes to school, the foster parent now has the ability to sign off on that slip as a legal guardian, and they can. I was actually a big part of that too, and we have about a 3-page document of certain things that foster parents are allowed to sign off on kids doing, playing football, basic sports, extracurricular activities, and then there are some other ones that would require DCF workers and other people on their team to get involved in to make those decisions. Those are some more extreme activities, but foster parents now have the basic ability to really be that legal guardian and make some of those decisions. That also helps DCF workers kind of unburden themselves a little bit.
So Amy, what's next?
Well, our state invests quite a bit in the foster care system, and I know that our legislators are invested in having a system that works and public trust in that system. It's a key component. The bill does have a long ways to go. It was assigned to House Human Services, and we're confident that it will be taken up, but it has many committees to work through. We're hopeful that testimony from youth and foster families and families of origin and service providers will help move that along, and are hopeful that it will pass as well. As you know, we operate in a biennium cycle, so anytime within the next 2 years would be a great trajectory.
Okay. Thanks for joining us again, and Nate, again, thank you for sharing your story with me this afternoon. Thank you. And we'll be right back on What Matters This Week.